last video, we talked about sources of income to pay your monthly expenses. And we left off wanting to talk and address Social Security maximization. What does that mean? Remember, switch the order of the words if it confuses you. Social Security maximization, maximizing your Social Security. So that's what we're going to do, talk about that. A lot of people just say, Charles, when I retire, I'm just going to start my Social Security. My coworkers said, get it while you can before it runs out. Now, that is one way of considering and thinking about collecting your Social Security. But there are other ways as well. Recently, at least 3 widows we have discovered in the last few weeks that were really, truly empowered because of the information we gave them. One of them had been married and she had been divorced for years, had not remarried. But I asked, did your former spouse pass away? She said, yeah, why are you asking? I said, because if they did, you can go to Social Security, and if you're married for 10 years or longer and you had not remarried, you can go back and you can file a widow's benefit from your ex-spouse. No, it doesn't affect their Social Security payout. They're long gone. But if they were alive, you could also do that if you made very little and they made a lot. Then 50% of their benefit might be more than 100% of yours. The plan that we came up with enabled her to file on her deceased ex-spouse at around 63 when she had retired, and she's collecting that. But what she's really doing is delaying her own benefit till age 70. Maybe we file at 68, 68 and a half, but keep something in mind. From 62 to 67 or so, full retirement age, depends on when you were born. Some of you listening, maybe it's 66 and a half, your full retirement age. For me, the FRA is 67. But the point is, from 62 to 67, it's going to grow the benefit if you're delaying by about 5.5 to 5.75% every year. But from 67 to 70, it goes up by 8%, a lot bigger jump, a lot bigger. So some people like to delay. Will that benefit you? It's hard to say, and I'll tell you why. There is some thinking, and even the Social Security is putting it in their letters, that they might reduce the benefit in the future, in the next decade. They might chop your benefits. We don't know if it's going to be everybody. Some folks might chop the benefits by 23%, 24%. So that's a big deal. So maybe taking it sooner does make sense. A lot of people also say, hey, I want to wait till my full retirement age. It's because the reports always held out that it looks so much bigger at your full retirement age. But guess what? That age 66 and a half, 67, that full retirement age, the real key there is if you're going to get a job after you retire or after you take your Social Security payments, you can't make too much money. Right now, it's around $21,000 as I record. If you make more than that, they're going to start to reduce your Social Security because you're making more money. But if you're at your full retirement age, 67 and beyond, it doesn't matter if you've got a job. So people look for that full retirement age thinking that's a magical date. It's not. Every month you wait, the months keep ticking away, and it increases your Social Security payments slowly. So that's sort of like an urban myth you need to wipe out. What you really need to do is have a thorough interview, figure out what you think your life expectancy is. Now, when we discuss that, I hear a lot about grandparents, aunts and uncles, but what about you, your parents? But what about you yourself? Are you taking care of your health in a different way from your parents, whether it be better or worse? Typically, I see these generations are living much longer, and you might be taking better care of yourself. And so because of that, maybe your longevity is extending a little bit more. Maybe that's not the case, but maybe it is. And in our next video, I want to talk about living a long time, because we don't want you to run out of money before you run out of life. And so that's what we're going to consider in the next video, so that we can test it to see what makes sense. Keep in mind that in your CRC, your Chartered Retirement Course, inside this plan, your written retirement income plan that we produce for all the families we work with, it's going to have that Social Security maximization plan embedded right inside. That is just fantastic. And here's the other thing. I'm going to tell you a story. We worked with someone who was a widow. They went down to the Social Security office and they were instructed, hey, go file for your Social Security widow's benefit. They told them they couldn't have it. She was very upset when we spoke again. I told her, you go down and you ask for the manager. She went and asked for the manager, and guess what? The manager told her she couldn't have the benefit. There was a breakdown in communication. And so all they told her was she could file for her own benefit. It was not the right answer. The Social Security office, they called our office and said, we misunderstood. We're going to go ahead and start her widow's benefit right now. Now, that was around the age, again, of about 63 or 64. What if she hadn't had that advice? She couldn't have delayed her own benefit, which is well past $3,300 now at age 70. It's a big deal. If she hadn't had good advice, what would have happened to her Social Security, that widow's benefit? Poof, it would have been gone. But now she's got a rock solid plan. And a lot of that income is hinged on the federal government to provide. So there's a lot that goes into Social Security maximization planning, especially when you're married too. One of you might delay a good bit longer while the other one takes the benefit earlier. But if you pass away, you can elect the larger of the two. So next video, I want to talk about living a long time and not outliving your money.